How's everybody doing? Man, busy, busy, busy. A lot going on. We recently launched a business brokerage firm where we're helping business owners from 500,000 to 10 million, sell businesses, buy businesses, and grow their businesses. And so that's super exciting. We're just getting ready to hit the 1 year mark here at the end of the year, and things are moving along swimmingly with that team. That's what's been sucking a lot of the air out of the room. Our core business that generates the revenue that allows us to kind of work on these other projects is ESP Inc. It is our performance marketing agency, which is what brought us here to this opportunity. We were founded in 2009. Our industries are, insurance, home services, debt, legal, and we dabble in other things. Our production channels are call center generated transfers, call verified leads, and then consumer generated leads. We are expanding rapidly into consumer generated calls for click to calls because, as most of you have heard or know, there's lower and lower demand for call center leads just because of all the compliance issues associated with that. So that's still our bread and butter. So I would say from, big need, big ask, any assistance provided would be greatly appreciated and probably compensated. There's probably some compensation in there somewhere as well. We're looking for clients that have needs for call centers. A lot of times people are not buying call center generated leads because, it's harder to check where the leads came from, how they were generated, all of that. But a lot of these same large scale buyers have a lot of data themselves, where if they could hire a call center or bring a call center in-house to call on their own data, it might help them achieve their lead, customer acquisition, client acquisition goals. And we can provide that services. We've got 3 call centers: the Philippines, Belize, and El Salvador. In addition to that, verticals, auto insurance is coming back in a big way. That's a huge vertical for us. If anyone knows of any buyers that are looking for auto insurance transfers, specifically call center generated transfers, please let me know. Send them my way, connect us, whatever the case may be, because that's an area we're looking to scale up this year. That's what I've got, and hopefully I look forward to hearing from each of you and how I can help you in your success.
Love it. And he leaves a minute on the table. I love that. Thank you so much, Chad. Thank you again. I am going to, from this point on, I'm going to go over to Andrea. So I'm going to ask Andrea to be next. After Andrea, again, Myrna, if you can go after Andrea, and I'll keep it going from that point on. So Andrea, tell us a little bit about, again, answering those 3 questions and presenting, please.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity, first of all, to do this. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of Blacks in Performance Marketing, even though I'm not in the marketing industry or the performance marketing industry, but there is an element of marketing to every business. So I appreciate that I'm even here. I wanted to, in a way, reintroduce myself to many of you. I had the good fortune to be featured in a spotlight when I joined as a member, where I talked a little bit about myself, but not about my firm and the power of what we can do collectively. So what you're looking at now, so I am Andrea Gray. I am a wealth manager with an independent firm called Momentum Advisors. We're registered with the SEC as a registered investment advisory firm, but really who we are is we provide financial planning services to our clients. Half of our clients are people, individuals, families, and the other half of our clients are organizations and institutions. We were founded by former executives from Merrill Lynch, I'm in that number, Goldman Sachs, and other insurance and brokerage firms. But this is who we are. This is a picture from our firm retreat 2 years ago. So about the same number of people, although some of the faces have changed as we've gone through a restructuring. But that's who we are as a firm. As a person, of course, now this doesn't want to advance to the net. This is a really oversized picture of me, but I bring, almost 30 years of financial service experience. And some of this information is stale, but in terms of what I've been up to, and this is a little more about the firm and all the areas that we help our clients. So it's not just investments, financial planning is really about protecting what you've already grown and preserving it, protecting your ability to earn income for the superstars that many of you and our colleagues are, and growing, right? Inflation is a real thing, and we've got to make sure some of our assets are growing, but we also want to protect our ability. We also want to protect our assets, sometimes in the form of insurance, but we also want to preserve our ability to earn income. So we do it a number of different ways. I'm not going to go much on about the firm because it will sound like a pitch, but what have I been up to? This summer, I actually started co-hosting a podcast. Our firm has had a podcast that's been dropping weekly episodes on various financial planning topics. It's very casual. I meant to set a timer so I wouldn't go over the 4 minutes. But our previous co-host has moved on to another opportunity, and our founding partner had asked me to join as a co-host, and I'm like, weekly? That's a lot. Like, I'm trying to take care of clients and be a present mom. But it's been a lot of fun. So if those of you who are into podcasts, please give us a listen. It's called the Momentum Advisor Show. We drop episodes weekly on a number of different topics. Our most recent episode was titled What's in the Bag, where we talk about really understanding what you own in your investment portfolio and whether or not those investments align with the things that are important to you. I could go on, but I won't. I want to be respectful of the time. Our firm has a relationship with the Innocence Project, which, as some of you may know, provides legal services for people who have been wrongly convicted and serve time. Sometimes those individuals receive large settlements, and we're on a short list of firms who help them navigate, their new lives with this newfound wealth, which is unfortunately gained in a horrible way. But while our firm has done that for a long time, I have, for the first time, been directly involved with an exoneree to help him, kind of see some of the blind spots that he may not have with a pretty large settlement that he received. And we're also been going into, I gotta stop, I know. We've been working with student athletes who might have futures in professional sports. So I just hired my first intern. I think our firm's first female intern. So I'm pretty excited about that. How can you help? I'm focused on quality, not quantity. No advisor ever says this, but I am focused on enhancing the client service experience for my existing clients over growing, but we always want to grow. So we can talk offline about referrals and what that looks like, and giving us a try to see if we can help uncover something that might be important to you that you might not be getting.
Thank you so much. Again, with that in mind, you took a minute from Chad. So Chad, say thank you to Chad.
Thank you, Chad.
Let's move forward. So Myrna will be next. After Myrna, I would love to have it where we go to Matt. So Myrna, if we can share your screen or whatever you would like to present. Actually,
I was going to say, I sent you my presentation because I'm driving, so that you could do it for me, because I'm multitasking at all times.
Gotcha.
But I can get started though. I mean, while you should have the PDF in your email.
Go on.
Okay. But hi everyone, just in case, that's how I started it. You didn't know who I was. My name is Myrna, it's spelled M-Y-R-N-A, but it's pronounced Myrna. And I am the Myrna in 𝗀𝗏 & Co. And I'm also a steering committee member of Blacks in Performance Marketing. So I'm honored to always show up and be here and be able to show love to this wonderful group. Long story short, how did I get here? 𝗀𝗏 & Co. was a consulting firm, and it was just me with a lot of my independent contractors, working from, you name it, penile implant surgeons to funeral home directors and everything in between, specifically in the space of luxury. I have pretty much worked with in terms of elevating their brands, positioning their brands well, creating brand strategy and organic growth marketing. So I've been called SEO expert, I've been called tech whisperer, you name it, I've been called it. But in a nutshell, what I am is a master connector. I just know how to connect dots really well, especially when it comes to marketing and creating a message. So fast forward to what I've been up to, it's rebranding myself because as of late, I've gotten a big followership on some social media platforms, and I've also been courted by a medical device company to do marketing for them in the form of lead gen actually too. So that's what also I could say is a connection here with the lead gen world. Long story short, I'm in the process of trying to take my consulting world that I've built and changing it into a full-fledged business model that doesn't rely on my brains and my service to generate revenue. So that's what I've been up to there. And next slide, you can go to. Okay, what else have I been up to? Like I said, working on my mindset. And the reason why I say this is because, again, being a service-oriented provider, I've always had this mindset of, you know, doing more to obtain clientele. And at my height, which was about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I had about 17 clients and I was running around with my head cut off, and I had capped. Even though I was making a lot of money, I capped. And so all that to be said, I'm in the process of rewiring my framework so that I'm not attaching the fact that I have to touch something in order to generate revenue. So that's the mindset rework. And then in terms of developing new programs, that's part of the rebrand. I'm starting to establish some new programs that I can build upon that will be able to help a lot more people. So there's that. Next slide, you can put it up. All right, so let's see. What am I looking to achieve? A fresh start. I want to kind of have a refresh. It's kind of like 𝗀𝗏 2.0 or 3.0 probably at this stage, because I've been in the game of marketing and technology for about 20 years now. I'm also looking to position myself more as a thought leader in various ways. Like I said, I've recently obtained a new viewership or followership on Instagram specifically, where I'm getting asked to do a lot of things by a lot of brands. And so I want to be strategic about that. And then lastly, obtaining a solid base of clients within these new programs that I'm trying to establish. So there's that. Next slide. All right, so what can you do to help? You know, Sean and Matt and 𝗀𝗏𝘁'𝘀, I mean, this group has been instrumental in my growth as a business owner. So, you know, just being there as my technical soundboard, or you know, just whenever I need advice or just connecting, because again, I'm a master connector at heart. I think Andrea said it. I'm a quality girl, not a quantity girl. So I'm all about like, how can we make the most of an experience? So keeping that going, it would be great, because I do reach out to some of you on occasion. And then secondly, keeping me accountable, because I wear many hats. These guys know I'm running around, I'm on a world tour 24/7. So keeping me accountable for what I say I'm gonna do, because again, that's very important to me to do as I say. So keeping that going would also be a great help. And that's it. I don't know how much time I have left, but I think I'm good.
You did it. You did it. Thank you so very much. So after we actually have, okay, after Matt, again, Brad, are you still here?
I am. I'm not prepared, but I'm here.
No, understood. What I want to do, if you could just bring up maybe a screenshot of your new company, I would just love to make sure that we share that with people as well, because I think people need to know about that one. So I'll have you go next, please. And Matt, it's all yours.
Just got to take myself off of mute. All right, so Sean, even though I said I wasn't going to put together some slides, I couldn't be shown up by everybody else, so I had to throw something together real quick. So many of you know that, you know, I started a company years ago called Rate Marketplace. I ended up selling that off to Suited Connector. In January of 23, I left Suited, and really I wasn't quite sure I knew what I wanted to do next. And then suddenly I started to receive phone calls from various clients requesting assistance with primarily driving traffic to them, and anything else that I could help them within our performance marketing ecosystem. So I eventually just ended up starting Tillman Consulting Group. So thank you to those here that helped with the branding around this. I really appreciate your help. And I've launched a consulting business that helps connect buyers and sellers and really be able to identify what some of the challenges are, especially as they navigate through this compliance, this wild compliance time, and helping them be compliant, as well as identify traffic sources, whether it be leads, clicks, or calls. So Chad, we should definitely follow up on what you're looking for there, because I may have some clients that you're looking for. So that's just kind of the umbrella of what is going on. Underneath that, there are companies that I'm actually advising. One is a company called Home Loan Advisor. This will be a new mortgage, I wouldn't call it lead generation. I would say it's more of a one-to-one consent marketing company that is in the mortgage area. Really, I was looking for opportunities where the consumers actually have selection and choice, as opposed to being told who is going to contact them. And this is one of those models. This will actually start with an AVM, where the consumer can provide their address and they can get a blueprint of their home, along with all the pertinent information that they will need in order to talk to a mortgage loan officer. They will also have the choice to select what companies they want to talk to, and they can link up directly there. This site is going to launch. It's kind of in a beta stage right now. You can get to it today, but it'll launch within the next 2 weeks. Okay. The next business that I'm advising on is a company called refinance.com, probably one of the best domains in the mortgage space there is. But this site has actually been dormant for the last probably 5 years. And part of the challenge, once again, is creating a business that's not just around lead generation, but giving consumers choice and selection about who they want to contact. And obviously, with the FCC's regulations around one-to-one consent, this is a perfect time to be able to get this type of business going. So this will be out, I would say, within the next 30 days. Something I'm extremely excited about is another business that I've started with 2 partners by the name, and the business is called 𝗀𝗲𝗁𝗀. Really strong background. I've had a strong background in the call center world, more or less from the sales and business development standpoint. And then I've had a partner in 𝗀𝗲𝗱𝗶𝗹, and the other partner is 𝗀𝗲𝗱𝗶𝗹, who have been very instrumental in building out call centers and programs or products within call centers. So we realized that there was a missing component in the compliance area, and one area that we're really focused on is how do you get compliance of inbound phone calls? And the problem is, and many people think that you can call back consumers that have called into you because they've gotten verbal consent, but the law specifically says that it's express written consent. So I won't go through all the details because I just don't have that much time, but I just want to give you a high-level overview of what happens. Call center, this is actually implemented within a call center. Call center agent goes through a script that results in a one-time text. The text message is sent out, and this is based on screenshots of what you see here. This is branded with the client that is going to be the end recipient, as well as the client's TCPA language, privacy policy, and terms of use. At that point, a certificate is then generated upon accepting this. So you're getting the express written consent, and immediately that token or that certificate gets placed in your record, which gives your client the ability to call that consumer back in a compliant manner. This product we've been working on this for well over about 1.5 years at this point. We're coming out of beta as we speak. So we have clients that are actively using this today. And obviously where I can use your help is if you know of any clients that are out there that are in need of a compliance solution for calls, especially on the inbound call, because I've heard people say that they're going to focus more on click to call and those things like that. This is the tool that they need to make sure that they have a compliant call that they can actually make an outbound call back to. The next thing I'm working on, and I'm just going to leave this
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Here we go. Burn. This is another company I'm advising on. This is a really interesting technology within lead generation that we're rolling this out to. This is a facial scan company. So think about the industries that are reliant on understanding pre-existing conditions, health conditions. A consumer can go directly online, get a facial scan, so become a lead, get a facial scan. The scan information is then sent to the end provider to then help them with pricing around products, or at least to have a deeper understanding of any health conditions or situations. We're testing this in life insurance today. The acceptance rate has been extremely high in terms of consumers that are going through submitting the form and getting a facial scan. So you'll see more of this around in the various industries that need this within health. And that's it.
Thank you. Okay, you're a busy guy, So let's see, let's stop sharing your screen. And again, one of the things that I want to do is, first and foremost, I want to welcome some of the people that I've never seen before and might be new. Again, Arthur, so welcome again to the call as well. Again, Tony, it's been a while. Missed you at the last conference by far. Good to see you. So before we have Brad go and just talk about one of his new companies, 𝗟𝗲𝗁, if you can go after Brad, greatly appreciate it. Brad, the floor is yours. You're on mute. Brad, you're on mute.
Yeah, it's not going to let me share my permissions. I'll put the URL into the chat here. So Sean, maybe if you can pull up assume.com. While I'm doing that, Matt, that call verify is great. Congratulations on that. For those of you who are in lead gen and maybe thinking about going from data leads to inbound calls, because that seems like the big push for everybody, just make sure you know that there is fraud in inbound calls and you are still possibly hit with TCPA lawsuits. There's some bad people out there that generate phone calls by doing outbound texts and outbound calls in a non-TCPA compliant way. And then they transfer those calls into what you thought was an inbound call. So you might be thinking that a consumer picked up the phone and dialed that number, but that's not really what happened. And so then you get looped into the lawsuit. We've got several clients at my other company, 𝗁𝗲𝗁.com, that have been hit with TCPA lawsuits because of this. So don't drink the Kool-Aid totally that says inbound calls are TCPA proof. So Matt's solution is really awesome there. All right, so my other company,
Brad, did you send that over into the chat so that I could copy and paste?
I think so. Assumed.com, ASSUMED.com.
Okay, I'll just type it in.
So I've had this other company for 20 some years, 𝗁𝗲𝗁. We're a lead distribution platform. Companies that sell sales leads use our system to handle their back office stuff, lead matching, lead distribution. I know John has been a customer in the past. Hopefully some of you others will become customers at some point as well too. But one of the problems that our customers always had is seeding their data. And so what that means is putting in a trackable fake contact in order to see what's going on. So for example, figuring out like when you sell that lead to somebody, are they reselling it behind your back? Or what we've had a customer discover this year is they had somebody that was post-rejecting leads. And so they found out that they were post-rejecting leads and then still marketing to those consumers, which is a huge no-no. With one-to-one consent coming up, we feel that this new transparency in the industry is a great thing, but it really means that you need to be vetting both who you're selling leads to as well as where you're getting your leads. So if somebody's generating leads and they say they're only selling them to you or that their form is one-to-one compliant, you should hold them to that and test it out. And so basically Assumed let you buy these contacts that look totally real, first name, last name, address, email, and phone, but everything is trackable in a kind of unified inbox. So you can see then all of the inbound emails, texts, and phone calls that come to those contacts. So, you know, we're looking outside of lead gen as well. We just attended BlueCon here in Chicago. That was a security conference. So, you know, all of your databases, you should be seeding to make sure that the bad guys aren't getting your data or that sales reps aren't stealing your database when they leave and go to another company. So lots of different uses. That's it. I'll pass it on to somebody else. Thank you for the opportunity.
Wow, thank you.
Wait, I got one more thing. One suggestion. You know,
yes.
For the conference in Florida, I would love to see like a miniature like meet me opportunity where
Mhm.
the people that are in Blacks in Performance Marketing, maybe getting other people to come in that are very business oriented. I think I was incredibly disappointed with the attendance at one of the other talks that you guys did at another show. It was kind of, I was upset about it. And so I think everybody's so business minded at these shows that maybe a meet me market where they could come in and get to sit face to face with you all and see how they can do business with you might be a good way to get some of these people that are outside of BiPM in and talking with you guys.
Love it. Suggestion is written down. Thank you so much, Brad. Also, before we go over to 𝗟𝗲𝗁, I want to make sure everybody understands that only a lot of times on these websites and each and every one of our companies, there are newsletters, there's podcasts. Let's sign up. Let's connect. Because again, a lot of times we're hoping that we can have a good understanding of what everybody's stating. But just in case you miss something, schedule a meeting with that person. Do a 15-minute meeting follow-up to have a better understanding of what's going on, along with the fact to follow the newsletters, things of that nature. Let's find ways to continue to find ways to support each one of us. So 𝗟𝗲𝗁, we're going to go to you next, and then I think we will have time for one more. So right now, let's go with John. If you want to go next. And again, I'm just going to have everybody hold. I'm going to start holding you more accountable to your 4 minutes. Go for it.
Gotcha. Hello, everyone. 𝗟𝗲𝗁 here, AI sales guy, AI marketing speaker, and a bunch of different stuff. So, I mean, this past summer has been, I mean, my world is, my business, my brand, my company is kind of going through some transitions this past month, or this past couple months, but I'm still working with V agents, but I'm doing some additional consulting. Had the pleasure of starting to work with John a little bit and his team, doing some business development. Chad, I got to get back to you. I've got one business development partner that we're specifically helping brokers source deals at extremely low costs with more of the, anyway, but I'm gonna follow with you on that. But in general, yeah, just trying to get my world focused. I'm still in the AI. AI, of course, you know, is changing, growing, controversial, whatever, but I'm still in the AI world. Speaking engagements are picking up, and still with V agents. V agents is a call center AI. So when people want to know, how can I use AI to either assist my call center, to replace my call center, to augment my call center agents, that's kind of what we're doing with V agents. And we're finally launched like 2-3 months ago. We finally have customers on board. So it's been a year of trying to get it working, trying to get it ready. But we've got one national franchise with 1,000 locations. When somebody doesn't answer the call in 3 seconds, it transfers to that AI instead of a IVR. And we got some other, like 4 or 5 other customers. So that's finally getting up and running. Excited about that. If anybody wants a demo, I can give you a phone number. You can check it out. And besides that, again, how do I use AI for business development? I've been partnering with another company. If you've got like, I don't know, $1,000 a month or something, but we have an AI that does an amazing job doing business development, email, social, LinkedIn. If you check out my LinkedIn page, you'll see I'm very busy and it's all my AI. But again, if you want a demo of that, I can share that with you later. Other than that, yeah, the next 6-9 months, again, I'm not an empty nester yet, but on a personal note, my daughter will be going to college next year. So I'm in a mode of looking at colleges, scholarships, either LA or New York-ish or California, New York. She's a dancer. So if any of you have connections towards colleges, or Howard's in our list as well. But other than those 3 areas, I'd love to get some support, advice on how to get your kid fully paid for in college, because it's not cheap. But yeah, but no, that's about it. And again, AI is still, I think Oprah's going to do a thing on AI today with Bill Gates and Sam Altman. So I think AI, again, it hasn't really started yet. So again, if any of you know people who need help, who want advice, especially speakers, things like that, I'd appreciate any type of referral for me to speak or share my book, give away my book, or share some content on AI. But that's all I got. Thank you.
Very much, 𝗟𝗲𝗁. What I want to do is I want to actually go over to John. John, if you can, we're going to shrink it down to just 3 minutes. So John, if you can give me 3 minutes, and then after John, Cruz, if you wanted to have a chance to, chit chat as well, we'd love for you to go after that. And then we're going to go to Lisa Jones right after. So again, John, go for it. You're on mute. You're still on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
There we go. Sorry about that. Well, it took me 2 minutes of my 3 minutes right there. But I just wanted to say I'm kind of in the same vein as with Myrna. I think she was saying about how we're going through rebranding ourselves. We are Facts and Figures Inc. We also own Buena Rivers Marketing, which is also a marketing consulting company as well, digital ad agency. And kind of what we've been doing is kind of splitting our companies up together, you know, separately and kind of redistributing or redelivering our brand promises. Facts and Figures Inc. is a market research and consumer insights studies company. We've been around since 1969. It's kind of the bread and butter of what we do. Work with every single brand you can imagine. Buena Rivers Inc. became a digital marketing ad agency. It's been around for about 15 years. We do everything from branding, marketing, you name it. We built an 18,000 square foot podcast facility and content creation facility, and brought on an exciting portion of what we're doing right now, which is in the company called GenAgency.com. I kind of listed it there as well. We do a lot of brand, you know, where we take brands, we meet brands and content creators, and we kind of, you know, hook them together, kind of to deliver on brand promise. And thirdly, I think one of the most what I find closest to me is what we're doing with BuenaRiverMusic.com. It was a platform that we launched in January of this year. And what it is, it's kind of democratized the process of being a musician, or anyone who creates music is able to kind of go on our site, create an account on our site, distribute their music, and control their rights, control all their publishing, control everything about music. We've actually democratized that process. We've kind of put ownership back into the artists themselves, and we're helping them kind of distribute their music. So in our platform, you can kind of go there, you put all your music up, we help with everything. We consult in everything from cover design, cover art, branding, strategy, messaging, everything that you can imagine with regards to delivering on music promise, delivering on support for music and in linking communities. Has a panel, track you track your payments, track your payouts from all the distribution platforms out there like Spotify and Apple and all
30
that good
seconds.
stuff. And so in that whole vein of things, what I've been trying to do more is to link back to our community members here. I'm looking at Blacks in Performance Marketing as being key leadership in what we're doing. We've downsized considerably. We've reimagined our staffing. And so I'm now bringing on members like, or partners like you. I work with 𝗀𝗲𝗱𝗶 now. I owe, actually, as a matter of fact, I owe our entire success in lead marketing in the lead space to Brad. We were one of his early adopters of the BabaDoo platform way back. And I got to say, it was one of the best platforms of the process. But his brain, his leadership, his team's brain, his team's leadership, things of that nature is kind of what we're looking to incorporate internally. What we're doing here with brands and performance marketing is also what we're trying to accomplish by having great minds doing great things, helping creators. That's kind of it. I'm out.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go over to Cruz, and then from there we'll go to Lisa, and then I think we'll be finishing up. Anybody who we did not get to, guess what? That just means you have an opportunity to shine for the next meeting as well. I want to keep this going. I want to have it where we really start integrating and start doing more and more business all together across the board. The love connection starts at home, opposed to getting it here last. Let's start it here first. Cruz?
I will be extremely quick. You don't have to worry at all. For those who don't know me, my name is Cruz Alvarado. For 5 years, ending in September of 2023, I used to work for Clarion Events. I used to be an event director there. And for those who don't know Clarion Events, that's the event company that produces Affiliate Summit and Traffic and Conversions, events that most of you guys have been at. I've probably met you guys, had a drink with you guys there, et cetera. In September of 2023, I have moved on for the company. I still have strong ties and relationships there. Actually, when I left, I actually retained them as a client. So I have moved on into the consulting and contracting space. So I've been working with a lot of event organizers on their marketing and on-site operation strategy. But I've also been working with a lot of attendees and speakers who really want to thrive in the event space. So for a lot of you guys in which conventions and trade shows are a big part of how you connect, I've been working with a lot of people as to how to strategize into getting a keynote speaker session, or thinking about what are the prices that you should actually charge, or what tips should you actually incorporate into the conversation so that you guys can, be a part of that event and increase your own audience and visibility. I've been having a lot of conversation with people on this particular BiPM group. Whenever you guys have questions about just your on-site event presence, I've been the person to answer all of your questions. So I continue to do that. In terms of things have been busy this past 6 and 9 months tremendously. And I don't only serve digital marketing, even as of 2-3 weeks ago, I even helped put on the Fanatics Fest NYC event, which was a huge launch and was very, very successful. So just serving different brands, but understanding how important it is for our marketing and digital marketing space to actually just thrive and just make sure that you guys are increasing your audience. I'm going to steal one answer from Myrna as in terms of how can you guys help. It's not something that I'm actively searching for, but I have noticed that a lot of these consulting conversations that I've been having with clients or just friends, I'm like, wow, I really know what I'm talking about here. So that has pushed me to also want to consider and entertain a way to position myself as a thought leader as well. So I'm going to steal that from you, Myrna, because that's actually a really good one. And that's it for me.
Excellent. So before we go over to Lisa, and we have just about 5 minutes left, I want to make sure you understand. Again, guys, I know that 𝗟𝗲𝘁'𝘀 does her speaking engagement, so I know her and Cruz are probably connected. Anyone else who's looking, I know Chad is also a leading expert in several things, 𝗟𝗲𝘁'𝘀. There's ways for us to connect. Eventually, I'm looking to have it where if I put everybody's name on a board, I would like to draw a line and see exactly who would actually have the multiple connections. How are we sitting back and how are we engaging with each other? We have the opportunity, we have the resources. We just have to be intentional about the fact of doing that and reaching out. And again, even if it means after this call, schedule some time and say, you know what, you mentioned this, what do you really mean? Again, don't be scared to ask the question to go a little bit deeper. Lisa, we're gonna finish off with you today.
First and foremost, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's exciting to hear about all of your businesses. So I'll be brief as well. I wanted to share that, again, my name is Lisa Jones. I'm the founder and chief email officer of email Inc., headquartered in Atlanta, Georgia. Our technology is focused on bringing email to life. We all know what it's like to be inundated with email after email after email. And so email is a patent pending customer experience technology for video and email that allows video to automatically play an email up to 60 seconds to increase engagement and to deliver storytelling moments. So that's our story. And if I just briefly share so you can see what it looks like, let's do that briefly. And I'm only going to show just 2 slides from it or so, but I want you to see it from the standpoint of the brand, because we believe that your messages deserve to be seen, heard, and felt. When you think about your current email, either you're going to send paragraphs of text, you're going to send a play button that someone has to click and then click again to go to the browser, or you're going to send a 3-second GIF. And that's basically all the 3 options that you have. And with email, it's going to bring that email to life. So briefly, we did the launch for Windows 11. Here's the before, here's the email. As a result of sending out the email, it went out to 35 million subscribers, and it's their most historic campaign for sending out in the email inbox. Lastly, I'll share thrilling developments. We were recently featured this year in Inc. magazine, Female Founders 250 edition. Thank you. Microsoft just completed a case study on us about innovation and how we've adopted M365. And most recently, as of last week, I found out that now I'm a finalist for Woman of the Year in Technology. Thank you. And so in coming to this forum here today and being able to hear about all of the things that you all are doing, I'm here to support you all as well. If I had an ask, the ask would be to just look at more ways to get more adoption around email. It's still an emerging tech because a lot of people don't know about it, but video and email is possible. And just to think about how many ways you can use it for your businesses as well to communicate with others so that it stands out from the inbox clutter. That's my story, Sean.
I love it. I love it. And you kept it. Wow. Love it. So guys, again, keep in mind, and again, I think we finished off with somebody who was extremely exciting. Again, Lisa, I think she has her pitch together. Again, I've got it where I think I'm working with probably more than half of you guys already. At some point in time, again, and my goal here is I want to work with everybody. I want to have it when my name is listed on this chart that I'm going to build, there's going to be a dotted line to every single one of you, some way, shape, or form. And even if it's direct, and that's great. If it's dotted, because I've been able to connect you with someone else that put money in your pocket and grew your business, that's exactly what my goal here is. Figure out what it is that you can bring to the organization as well. We want everybody here to participate and be present, but also have it where you have the ability to be able to, make somebody else's world a little bit better, make them some money, get them some opportunity. That's where you'd be amazing how it comes back to you. I don't want you to do it for that reason, but of course, ultimately, that's just the way the world works, at least in my mind. So again, please feel free. If you want to know more, if you're jealous of my emails when it comes out and you see, it happening, guess what? I owe that to Lisa, again, across the board. So this one thing to another. Guys, let's work together. Let's continue to make our bond in this group stronger and stronger and stronger. It is 1 o'clock. I'm going to let everybody go. But again, we're looking forward to the agenda for this year. Welcome back. Again, we will be here. Make sure you go register for the BiPM Summit. Let's spread the word. We're going to sit back and send you so that you can promote it across the board. And send me over the suggestions. Brad, thank you for the suggestions there. And everybody who was not able to present today, get ready. Because the next meeting, guess what? Might be your turn. So be ready. I'll talk to you guys. Thank you so very much.
Bye,
you guys have a great